You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life. Run up when you see me, no disguises. Keep that thing with me, cause I don't do surprises. J. Chanel, show and tell, all facts, no lies, streak. Get your life, cause I'm the type to come through with that 9 quick. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life.
Focus there.
Watch them cause they after me like a pot of gold. I'm not for play, ask Keisha if you don't know. I'm a little bit cray-cray, approach me, you better be right. If you don't come correctly, you can catch these cans tonight. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, why the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle's so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life.
Get your life.
Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, baby. Get your life.
Get your life, boo.
Gilliam is shaking it up. He's chosen his brother, Mitch Gilliam, a bail bondsman from Chicago, as his running mate.
Political analysts say this may be too little, too late.
Hi, I'm with the Port Commission.
I'm from the Athletes Club Foundation.
Brother. Hey, can you get my demo tape to somebody?
Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music, and welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop. Give me a 1 or 2 down there in the listening lounge if you folks can hear me. Hey there, Jalen, how you doing? What's up there, Char Willie? How you doing? Candy Cane Lane, how you doing there? Rogue C, good to see you. Good to see you. Who else up off in this piece? ABT, step off in here first. How y'all doing? Y'all see what it is. Y'all know what we doing. Yep. Loose nigga roundup. It's been a minute. What's up there, Black Hawk? How you living, good brother? Yep, it's been a minute since I did one of these. But damn it, loose niggas is running amok. It's the Halloween season. They sitting over in panels just saying any damn thing. Anything that come out their mouth. Now, of course, I'm going to go ahead and start this off by saying, listen, what we're going to discuss, of course, is this might be risky. A few of the, and I'm using the air quotation marks, few of the brothers was up speaking on the Charlie Kirk incident. So before I get any further into the Charlie Kirk incident, let me just say, nobody deserves what happened to them, whether you agree or disagree with Charlie Kirk's views. No other human being should be the judge, jury, and executioner of someone else. Absolutely, the regulars, Miss Jalen. So saying that, listen, I don't understand this idea of because you have passed on to the other realm, as some folks would say, that you left behind is supposed to forget how you lived your life. We are supposed to forget all the bad things that you said while you was on this earth. We're supposed to respect, dare I say, use the word, we're supposed to respect the dead. So my question to any and everyone, let me turn this background music down a little bit. My question to anyone and anyone that's defending Charlie Kirk that we're about to review here, if Charlie Kirk was alive, do you honestly believe that if it was one of you that was on the receiving end of that bullet, that he would be going this hard for you as a black man? Some of you folks said that you weren't aware of Charlie Kirk until what happened to him. Again, you know, the man said there's too much empathy. So I'm going to grant his wishes. I'm not going to empathize his loss. I'm not going to sympathize his loss, because according to Charlie Kirk's words, that shows sign of weakness. According to Charlie Kirk's words, that if someone had to die in the protection of their Second Amendment rights, then, paraphrasing, so be it. Now everybody's upset. Folks are losing their jobs. Folks are getting death threats. The day of this incident, HBCUs that had nothing to do with this had to be on lockdown. Here, as of recently, I do believe in some towns and some cities and states down south, they just found 2 black men unalived. Only reason I'm using that word is for YouTube political correctness, from trees. This is who America is, whether you like it or not. What happened to Charlie Kirk forced America to take a hold of the mirror and look at it for themselves. And I've been saying this since I've been in these YouTube streets, since I've been in radio, over there at the Eminem show, when my co-host would always ask me, why do you want to do all these shows about racism? Because it still exists. And this was 2013, 2014, 2015. Long before folks could do this on YouTube. And now here it is. We have brothers, Cellulite, Mr. Fantastic, and a whole host of you loose niggas celebrating and being mad at the fact that black people are using Charlie Kirk's words against him. They're not celebrating his death. Some aren't, some are. But they're just saying, why should the United States flags be flying at half staff for a man that did not like, basically, a good portion of this country? Not because of your intellect, not because of your politics, not because of your finances, just simply because of what you looked like. Some of the greatest intellectual minds of our time, one of them is sitting on the Supreme Court, and Charlie Kirk said that this woman was a DEI hire. What school do you got to go to, folks, to become a DEI hire? highly educated women. And then you have some of these brothers expounding the very same thing. We're about to see it. I don't want to go into the monologue too long, and I don't want to hold you folks too long. But listen, one thing I said is I'm one of those guys, and I'm going to call it straight down the middle. If you say something in this podcast, dudes up on this panel that we're about to review, and if I feel it's right, I'm going to say you're right about it. If you say something wrong about it, in the way, in the manner that I hear you guys speaking already, because I previewed this already, I'm going to light your fucking asses up. No more Mr. Nice Guy with y'all niggas, because talking plain English to y'all don't work. Trying to be the elder statesman don't work with y'all niggas. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this 35 and to 45-year-old crowd, but y'all niggas have lost y'all way. Some of y'all have lost y'all mind. Is it for clicks? Is it for views? Is it for looks? What is it for? Is it for money? I've seen some of y'all what y'all make on your YouTube channel, so it can't be for money. I hope you're not trying to support your families on these YouTube checks. So what is it? Fame, fortune, hoping that you go viral? What is it for? What is it that would make you betray a man, that was you celebrate a man that would tell you that Dr. Martin Luther King was a bum, basically? And tell you like on your podcast the other day, it's kind of disrespectful, brother. So you remember this. You took the lid off being disrespectful. I didn't. No more holds barred with you either. Like DMX said, here we go again. I try to point you out, brother, to the right ways, but what did you do? You spit back in my face. You told me, I was polite about saying, I'm going to leave your podcast, bro, because I don't agree with you, and I'm not going to sit here going back and forth. I thought you wanted dialogue. You wanted to show off in front of your friends, as they say down in the South. Basically told me I could get the hell on. Well, anytime you want to show up in this over here, we can have that dialogue. I won't pay to get you off like you did me when I came up on your platform last time. Somebody paid to silence me after you let Angry Man try to talk over me. I will never go up on This Might Be Risky's platform. I wouldn't waste my time even talking to Mr. Fantastic one-on-one. The dude's an idiot. And a lot of you folks that celebrate Mr. Fantastic, you are idiots as well. There's absolutely no way any of y'all should be taking cues from that character, from that Black Bart Simpson looking motherfucker. And how y'all two still buddies when that nigga knocked you out? You don't become friends with nobody. No, I can't even sit on a panel with you if you knocked me the fuck out. I can't even sit on a panel with you because that shit should be embarrassing by now. No holds barred, because I told you you disrespected me, bro. You could have easily said, all right, Mr. Music. Appreciate you stopping by, though. I know we agree to disagree. And you could have left it at no, but you tried to. You go back and listen for yourself what you said, bro. So you took the lid off disrespect, not me. Because you can't go to a stream that I've mentioned your name that I've ever was disrespectful, or even though I vehemently disagreed with you. And speaking of disagreeing, there's another dude that's on this panel. He called himself Beans. If any of y'all have listened to me well enough, y'all know that I don't like what Beans stands for. But it seems to me Beans was the only one up there making sense from what I've heard so far. But anyway, folks, I've talked long enough. I'm going to stop it when I need to. Of course, there's going to be some commentary about it, but you see what's going on. And the thing about it is, y'all quick to criticize, folks. That's why I put the free speech shit down there. I'm going to say this. The very, very same thing that this guy, Charlie Kirk, was advocating for is the very same thing that you guys are saying that we are wrong for. Free speech. If we don't want to talk good about Charlie Kirk, we don't have to. Enough of y'all is doing that. All the Sambos weren't born here. Some of the motherfuckers came over on the boat too. There's a long ancestry, long line of Sambos. came over on the boat. Some of y'all might be descendants of them motherfuckers, and you just don't know it. Any of y'all that's dark skinned, whether you're brown or whether you're black, I don't give a fuck what you color yourself. If you said that Charlie Kirk was not a racist, something wrong with you. Now let me remove this from in front of the screen. I had to warm myself up a little bit. Hey Zahara, how you doing? Yeah, I had to warm myself up a little bit. Hey Cassandra, how you doing? I showed that I had to warm myself up because one thing I will not stand is because, again, y'all know me. I'm not disrespectful to anybody until you disrespect me. Y'all know that. And then you let somebody in your panel. That's another thing, Sal, while I'm removing this. Because this is kind of what sparked this. I didn't know you was going to be up on that, on that risky, whatever that is. Yeah, the angry man's an idiot. Yeah. Let me that's what we got. I got to go back over here. Yeah. Yeah, the angry man's an idiot. There's no doubt about that. He's an idiot. Matter of fact.
I'm a 3-sandwich eating pot belly, no content having motherfucker.
Anyway, but look here. Let me find this. Oh, I gotta remove this. There we go. All right, folks, y'all ready for this? Without further ado, let's review. This might be risky. This was a podcast. I guess a what do you call it? One of those uploads or excerpt from his stream. So let's get to it.
White nations.
White nations.
Closed borders.
Closed borders.
White nations.
White nations.
Now we start the deportation.
Now we start the deportation.
White nations.
White nations.
Closed borders.
Closed borders.
And then obviously you got the all white town that just popped up. So there's shit out there. Let me get Beans, then everybody else. What's goody?
So Ham, does that mean that we can't say the boogeyman white man no more?
No, he ain't a boogeyman. That nigga got boogers in his nose.
So he's real, huh?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Beans. You got the floor.
That is funny as hell. No, I just want to join in on the conversation, man.
Okay. Well, honestly, speaking of that, there are some folks that will disagree with you. There are some towns that the boogeyman still exists, and he's palm colored. That's those folks that they found hanging from the trees. Ask some of the folks that went down, that drove their truck down to Chicago, ended up losing their life with no explanation. The boogeyman. And I always bring this story up. This happened to me when I was in the 5th grade. And I tell you, it's been a while. I had a friend named Carl Williams. Carl Williams went home for the weekend. Me and Carl Williams, like, what's the thing called? We were like peas and carrots. Peanut butter and jelly. Carl Williams didn't come back to school that Monday. He didn't come to school Wednesday. Finally on Wednesday, he didn't come back to school Tuesday. Finally on Wednesday, the teacher at the time, a lady's name was Miss Mason. Miss Mason said, okay, at the end of, and when you were younger, you had the school assembly when you said the Pledge of Allegiance and all that before you got back on the buses. I got some bad news for you kids. Carl Williams is not coming back to school anymore. Why not? Is he moving? No, Carl Williams is not with us anymore. So come to find out that Carl Williams was out after dark. Well, at dusk, they found his body stripped naked, hands tied to a handlebar in a ditch. And this may sound like some movie, but his genitalia was removed. And that's true facts. And to this day, we still have not found out who did this to this kid. No newspaper, no nothing. So the boogeyman do exist for somebody.
I ain't seen y'all in a minute, but what's up, everybody? That I like and the ones I don't.
You
But-
sound muffled.
Yeah, your
It
mic
muffled,
muffled.
like just now, but it wasn't. It wasn't muffled this whole
Oh,
time.
that's because the mic. I think. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yes, this is Mike. I don't got one of those $900 mics. I gotta have it right here. So, but yeah, man, I think it's really weird that Instagram post that you shared and the fact that it was before Charlie Kirk, and I'm not trying to start a fight with Fantastic, but I think it's weird that he pointed out that it didn't come from anywhere. It came from the fact of this guy beating this other guy up like he did in the ring. And I think that is the problem, right? That I have, particularly with you all, that I can
See, I didn't bring that up. So now you know, Sal, I heard it somewhere else first. I didn't mention somebody beating somebody up in the ring. I find it strange. Like I say, I don't hang out with the enemy at no time, especially if somebody kicked my ass, because there's always going to be somebody on the panel that's going to remind you of that. Hell no, not me. And that's a very straight. And Naughty Beans ain't been up here 5 minutes, and that was the very first thing he talked about. I don't even see you yet. Maybe y'all was going at it in the chat. I don't know, but I don't even see him yet.
consider the conservative douchebags is that the kind of grace that you extend to these other people that you don't extend to your own people, right? People who had a problem with black folks' reaction to Charlie Kirk, not understanding that, well, that reaction was based on his behavior, right? And the things that he said, right? So if you could say that this man made this post about skinning kids, but it was based on a fight between two grown men, right? Then why we can't extend that same grace to people who are just reacting with their little distasteful comments about this dude who died, who had a lot of negative ass shit to say about black people without context.
So I was right in my assumption. Beans was directly talking to you. I was right in my assumption. He was talking, and matter of fact, I think he is still directly talking to you, because he had, I don't think really, other than the first few seconds, he hadn't really addressed anyone on the panel. So I do believe Cellular. That's why I tagged you in this, because I don't want you to think that just arbitrarily I just picked you out of the crowd. I didn't know you were going to be on this stream when I clicked on it. But it didn't take me long to deduce that he was talking about someone, a black person, that is a Trump supporter and that got beat up by somebody on a panel, and now it's winging for Charlie Kirk. If I add 2 and 2, that's 4. If I see a skunk with a stripe down his tail, it's a skunk. If I see something waddling down the street and it's got feathers and it's swimming, it's a damn duck. So I deduced that he was talking about you.
Text, and a lot of times he just straight up lied.
You know, so were you? I don't want to cut you out. You done, Bean?
Yeah, I'm asking you a question.
No, I said that. My bad, go ahead.
Well, oblige me if you don't mind, because I think Will maybe feels similar to what you're saying. I
just want to correct this one thing.
What I'm looking at is me and you've been talking a lot. That's all.
Yeah, I got you.
And I'm just saying that Will was shaking his head when Beans was talking, so maybe his retort will be likened to yours. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
What up, Hap? What up, fellas?
What's goody?
What's going on with you, Sil? Nothing much. God bless each and every last one of you. Hope you're all having a good day.
Bless you too. Bless you too.
Appreciate it. Charlie Kirk never said nothing racist since he's been speaking since 2012. And I find it funny that a lot.
Now, first off, stop smoking that vape, because that shit done clouded your fucking. Are you kidding me, Sil? Can you honestly, with a straight face, go past the next mirror and repeat that statement that you just said, that Charlie Kirk has not said anything moderately racist since 2012? Where the fuck you been, under a rock? Matter of fact, I got something for your ass. Where it at? Where's it at? Where's it at?
You big dummy.
You got to be. That only explains that. So there lies the question, and I'm going to ask it a few more times during this particular stream. There lies the question. Is fame that important to you? Is being known that important to you folks that y'all will get up on the stream, a live stream that's recorded, that your children, that your grandchildren, that your great-grandchildren, because remember, the internet is forever, can see that this is how my ancestors thought. This is not embarrassing for you folks. Believe it or not, Charlie Kirk and his followers would not sit down to the table with near one of y'all on the panel if there was no money involved. And if they sat on the panel to you like that dude named, what's his name? Wood Duck, Mad Duck, whatever the fuck he is, always in your panel, super chatting you, disrespecting you, Sal, while he is super chatting you. Go back and look for yourself. You don't believe me? Go look back at some of the super chats, how he disrespects you, how he disrespects your woman, how he disrespects your culture, how he disrespects your black sister, your black auntie by his super chats, and you read them willingly. Now, only a few people will see this, but this gets in front of the right folks. Maybe you'll see it. No need to make a stream about me. No need to go back and talk about, I'm as your folks would say, I'm a boomer, or I'm a Generation X, or I'm a Generation Z. What the fuck does my age got to do with anything? Right or wrong has no age limit, dummies. The only people that we should ever be responsible for saying you right or wrong is someone that's in our care, and there should be under the age of 18. Because we don't consider them as adults yet. They ain't left the nest yet. We hold these truths so self-evident that all men are created equal. It only applies to a few of us, huh? First Amendment, the freedom of speech only applies when the speech is okay with you. That's not freedom of speech. That's your opinion. And just because you say some shit with opinion or conviction, it don't mean shit to me.
A lot of people are just now finding offense when there is none, just because of sound bites and clips that's being posted. And it's funny that people have smart.
Nigga, these ain't no sound bites or clips. This is real actual. We've seen Charlie Kirk on TV, on podcast, on stage, saying these very things. These ain't sound clips. These ain't quick bites. These ain't doctored AI shit. This is real. Now you can take it how you want to. Anybody can call themselves whatever they want to. Anybody can distort the truth. But one thing the truth never needs is a fucking alibi. So we're going to let you try and make some for Charlie Kirk.
For the things that he's saying that is directed towards the black community. But the problem is he was being asked about the black community. And a lot of things that he's saying about the black community has been repeated since before he started talking and after he started talking in 2012. So why all of a sudden now we want to have smoke for the white boy? Because he's saying that the problem in the black community is fatherless homes.
Okay. I know that wasn't directed at me. But I would like to prove a point once and for all that you niggas is full of shit. Will, if Charlie Kirk said that Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday, in your opinion, what do you think would be the justification for that take?
That black people have been saying that Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday for years. prior before Charlie Kirk was known for being famous for saying it.
Absolutely. Hamp, is that what I asked him?
No.
Okay.
So
That's what he asked. He did ask him that. That's exactly what he asked. He retorted your answer with the question.
It's not what I asked.
So
So I heard it as no, that's not what he asked him, right? Mr. Fantastic heard it differently from me. That's fine.
Let me pause it right there. See, this is exactly why I don't do loose nigga panels, because at some point in time, what you came on the panel for gets lost. Hey Tiff, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey Spirit of Rebellion, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see y'all. I'm in the background, so I'll drop in every once in a while and say hello to some good people. Good to see everybody else. Thank y'all for coming in. Get yourself comfortable. Get some popcorn or whatever. Yeah, this is a loose nigga roundup. Yeah, absolutely is. Let me read this comment right here. I sure am the Spirit of Rebellion. I'm well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Y'all sit on down. ABT, how you doing? How you doing? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Appreciate y'all coming on through. Zahara, always sitting up in the front row. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Not so fantastic. Pathetic. It is what it is. You know, it's always a ball toting contest, and y'all know what I mean. I don't mean football, basketball. I'm talking about them two ball, a teabag convention. Which one of them niggas can teabag the best on each other? That's how I see it. Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. That's why I don't go up on them fucking panels, man. That's why I don't do it, because everything gets lost in the sauce. Right, I love that soundbite. I need to. If I gotta purchase that from you, I know the young lady that has it. If I gotta purchase that from you, I would love to have that soundbite, nigga. I love it. I love it. But anyway, speaking of niggas,
well, let's do it. Yeah, pose the question again, please.
If Charlie Kirk said that Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday, Will, in your opinion, what do you think the justification of that would be?
That it shouldn't. Hold on, wait. He right. I didn't answer the question. He right. My bad.
He said black people been saying the same thing.
What would justify Charlie Kirk saying that is looking at the holiday of Juneteenth and understand that it's a fabrication of falsity and that it should not be there and we should not be celebrating.
What's false about it?
What's false about it? It's a false day.
Okay, what the fuck is false about it? See, this is exactly what I mean. It's got to be something in that fucking pipe. Hey, Bridget, how you doing? How you doing, Bridget? I'm good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Take a seat. Take a seat. You got to be kidding me. He said Juneteenth, June 19th is a falsehood. Did y'all hear that? Let me run that back. Let me run that back. Because you said that, Sel. Let me make sure. Let me run that back. Let's do this again. All right.
And after he started talking in 2012, so why all of a sudden now we want to have smoke for the white boy because he's saying that the problem in the black community is fatherless homes.
Okay. I know that wasn't directed at me, but I would like to prove a point once and for all that you niggas is full of shit. Will, if Charlie Kirk said that Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday, in your
okay, let's make sure we heard the question by Beans. Now, for all of y'all that know me, for any of y'all that's been around me for a while, y'all know that I have talked shit about Beans before. But on this time, it just goes to show you could dislike somebody's views on one thing, but still agree with them. Now, a lot of things that I've heard Bean say I disagree with, but he's asking the right questions. And this is the question. If Charlie Kirk said there should not be a Juneteenth celebration, then what? And I want y'all to pay close attention to how this nigga Cellulite Podcast answered this question.
Opinion, what do you think would be the justification for that take?
that black people have been saying that Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday for years before Charlie Kirk was known for being saying famous.
Okay, first let me stop that. What black person? I want y'all to do this right now. See, it's one of them cases right there. If I was a man that drunk liquor, I'd have took me a shot because I could not believe what I just said. What black person? Put a 1 in the chat room. Have you ever heard a black person tell you to your face that there should not be a Juneteenth celebration? Put a 1 in the chat. I'm gonna do like the rest of these loose niggas. Put a 1 in the chat. I probably won't see none. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever heard that before. So when you folks go back and play the replay of this and you go back in the chat, I want you to look at the time step, 35 minutes and 50 some seconds that I asked y'all to put a 1 in the chat. If you ever, as a black person, walked up to another black person and said, there should not be a Juneteenth celebration holiday. But we just heard it first right here. You heard it first. You heard it. If you have, for some of y'all, it's the first time you're hearing it. But you heard it first right here. And this ain't fucking roller derby. And you ain't in Kansas neither. You just heard another black man said that Juneteenth of 1865, when the slaves in Texas finally, by however hook or crook, realized that they were free, that's a fabrication. Hey, Candy Cane Lane. That's a fabrication. Let me read this comment. Nah. She says, nah, I never heard a black person say that. Either you celebrate it or you don't. Like Kwanzaa. That's right, Candy Cane. Absolutely. That's the correct answer, Sel. You ain't never heard, you might hear some black people say, well, I really don't celebrate I'm not gonna lose no money because of that. I might not go to work, especially if I work for myself. I can say June 19th, if it's on a Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, I'm going out to work. It's not that I'm disrespecting a holiday. I got to make my money. But I ain't gonna never walk up to nobody and say, shit, I'm not gonna celebrate Kwanzaa. I'm not a black man that celebrates Kwanzaa, but I'm quite aware of it. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting long enough. So I think I said that at 35. So it's been almost 3 minutes now, and nobody put a 1 in the chat yet. So let's continue.
Thanks for saying it.
Absolutely. Hamp, is that what I asked him?
No.
Okay.
So he did ask him that. Exactly what he asked. He retorted your answer with the question.
It's not
nigga, please.
No, that's not what he asked him, right? Mr. Fantastic heard it differently from me. That's fine.
So he asked the question.
Well, let's do it. Yeah. Pose the question again, please.
If Charlie Kirk said that Juneteenth shouldn't be a holiday, Will, in your opinion, what do you think the justification of that would be?
That it shouldn't. Hold on, wait. He right. I didn't answer the question. He right.
Because he said black people been saying the same thing.
What would justify Charlie Kirk saying that is looking at the holiday of Juneteenth and understand that it's a fabrication of falsity and that it should not be there and we should not be celebrated.
What's false about it?
What's false about it? It's a false day.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response.
I answered your question. Now I'm asking. I did. I answered your question. Now I'm asking you a question. I said that it's false, and I'm asking you, what is Juneteenth?
Right. No, sir. Listen, that's not how this goes. Right. You're answering my question.
You asked the question.
Well, so I just told you what Juneteenth was. You know. All I can say to that question right there is you got to get up pretty early in the morning to be that dumb. For you as a black man to ask that question of what is Juneteenth, that says all I need to know about you, that you're putting on a show. because you can't tell me over the age of 25, 30 years old that you're not aware of what Juneteenth is, that nobody in your family has mentioned to you at some point in time in your life, in your 40, I'm gonna give you 40 plus years, 40 minus years on this earth, that no black person in your life connected to you has mentioned Juneteenth. That you could sit up on a panel full of black men and ask that question, what is Juneteenth? You got to be out your everlasting mind. Yeah.
But you're not answering it.
I hope that Sal, all I can say is I hope the check is worth it, bro. I really hope the money is worth it. Not once so far have you heard me mention your sub count. Not once have you heard me mention wish you any success. I don't. I think channels like yours that are misinformation channels, as I've seen from you lately, and let me speak on this right now. What the fuck is this shit horizontal instead of vertical? What, just because you land up in a different algorithm? All it is the camera turned one way from a portrait to landscape. That's it. They still see the same thing. Right, absolutely, Cassandra. Some jobs do give the day off. Absolutely. But if I remember back when they were trying to make Martin Luther King's birthday an official holiday, all the hell that the states gave, especially Arizona. Is that the reason, Short? This is to secure podcast channels exist in the future. Okay. I guess that's what that horizontal and vertical broadcasting is about. All right. Y'all can do what you want to. You can't see me on radio. But let's get back to the Isle of Misfits over in This Might Be Risky.
I answered the question.
You said something that's not true, right? You said that it's a false holiday.
I gave you my answer.
What makes it false?
I gave you my answer. My question
so then you got it.
What is Juneteenth?
You got it.
Okay, yeah.
So hold on. Don't run it over. No, I know. Let me just don't run it over, right? So Will was saying it's a day that's not rooted in facts. So why is it being celebrated? Will, are you alleging, or is it speculation that it's almost made up? In terms of
it is made up.
So he's saying it's just some bullshit that just pulled out of thin air. But then I guess, Will, my simple thing is, ain't that all holidays?
Yes.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yes, and that's my point. And that's my point of saying myself.
Okay, you bunch of dumbasses. How the fuck do you equate Christmas, which we know is a pagan holiday? How do you equate Valentine's Day, which we know is a pagan holiday? How do you equate Thanksgiving, that we now know that the Pilgrims didn't discover shit? Columbus Day, that the Christopher Columbus did not sail the ocean blue in 1492. But one damn thing's for sure. Of all those made up holidays, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, is coming up here. One damn thing's for sure. One holiday that's not made up. One day was the day in 1865 when whatever troops rolled into whatever town in Texas and said, y'all ain't slaves no more. I bet the first slave that hold up that heard that looked up at him and said, what? We ain't slaves no more. Well, what's we gonna do now? That's your mentality, Sal. We ain't slaves no more. What we gonna do now, Uncle Charlie? You call yourself MAGA Will. So let me ask you, that moniker that you're wearing, Will, MAGA Will, with duck sauce over there disrespecting you through super chats. Duck sauce, soy sauce, duck sauce, soy sauce. Mad duck. So let me ask you something, MAGA Will. Which part of America was great as far as we're concerned, as far as your ancestors are concerned? Because you're like me. You maybe you're one or two shades from it, but me, if you put me and 8 o'clock in the morning together, you get midnight. But you're not too far off from that. Okay? So what would make you think that all those other holidays that you spoke of just now, or you too, Cellulite, or Mr. Fantastic, or any other you loose niggas, Sambos up on the panel, would think that Juneteenth is a made-up holiday? It's a day that whether they made it a national holiday or not, we were still celebrating Juneteenth, dumbasses. They just made it into a national holiday. That shows me that all y'all do is get up on these panels to talk. That's why when I click on your panel, I'm from the country. It sounds like a fucking hen house at 7:30 in the morning. Cluck, 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 cluck. That's what it sounds like. A bunch of loose niggas talking shit about shit they don't know.
That's your point.
So
now,
why push back
question,
at that one? Why not push back at Valentine's Day?
I don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
So
I'm saying Charlie Kirk. Why not? Why is he worried about Juneteenth? What about why we get rid of Valentine's?
Because he was asked about Juneteenth, and this is what hold on, wait, no, stop. Yes, he was. He's been asked. Yes, he was multiple times over the years since 2012. He's been asked about specifically about the black community from black people. He's been asked specifically about the black community from the Rainbow Coalition. He's been asked specifically about the black community from white people. See, everyone always wants to cherry pick his answers because everyone only wants to ask him about the black community. This is why they say, well, he never gave any answers or nor did he condemn the white community. But my question is this: if I ask you him, Beans is wearing a blue do-rag. Do you agree?
No.
And you would say no, right? So I would say, oh, so you're racist against the color red. Well, how can I say that if you see red? I can't give you a directed narrative question, then call you a racist because you didn't want to recognize the color as blue.
Okay.
But again, people have smoke.
Point. I understand your point, right? You saying that he's answered.
Right, exactly, Sal. Exactly, the Hamp. That's the only way. That's the only way you could, because it seems to me y'all over there in Loose Nigger Valley, over there the Island Misfits, found a new word on this panel: retort. I guess y'all watch. One of y'all niggas watched what was that? Pulp Fiction. And Samuel L. Jackson sound good to you. So let me give you my impression of Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, he's dead, and he should burn in hell. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't strike my channel, because y'all know how it be. If you say anything bad about Charlie Kirk, you got the whole of America. It's, if you put it on paper, in one corner it'll say United States of America versus DJ Music, the Chop Shop. That's an ass of motherfuckers. I told you, I did not come here to be nice today. I don't care, Sel. If you honestly, I hope you don't go back and give me any ammunition, because the as I say on the radio, sir, the sounds that I'm laying down right now up against you and your talking points, you can't put a respin on, folks. You can't go back and say DJ Music was wrong. You can't go back, just when I was up on your panel, you can't go back and say that I was wrong about what I say, because I'm too thorough with my shit. I ain't new to this, nigga. I'm true to this. Okay? I don't need Google. The shit that's coming out your mouth today, you need to go brush your teeth, because your breath got to be bad. Ring. Goddamn, nigga, did you brush your teeth this morning? I smell shit.
There's questions that are asked, right? They're not in the sound bites. It's only showing his answer and not the question, right?
Not the context of the question.
What if he wasn't asked anything? What if he was literally on his own Instagram in his car and went live to make the statement and then said goodbye and left?
Great. Now I'm glad that you brought that up because of people's feelings and emotions and their misrepresentation of his context. They want to paint him as a narrative.
Okay. So, Beans, do you have that by chance, Beans?
Absolutely, but it's irrelevant.
I want to
because
see
if we're not gonna force him, to stand on truth, it's irrelevant.
And Beans, you're absolutely right. If you're not going to stand up on truth, there's no amount of truth that you can show somebody like Sel. There's no amount of truth that you can tell him. I don't give a damn if he was in the middle of, for those of you who live in Atlanta, 285 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you was to tell Sel that there's no traffic, he would tell you, you lying. Ain't no traffic, and there's plenty of traffic on 285 this time of day at 3 o'clock. He would tell you, you lying. And for those of you who live in Atlanta, you know 3 o'clock in the afternoon, if you ain't home or if you're on the freeway at 3 o'clock, hope you got enough gas. He can't answer the question, Candy King. And so far, all he's given is pushback, vitriol, yak, as they say. As when I told you I'm from the country, so there was a time I remember planting acres of corn, and we'd have to ward off the crows with scarecrows or even bird shot. You go in the cornfield and you let off them, and you see them crows look down at you, you're screaming, yak, 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 yak. That's what you sound like, Sel. That's exactly what you sound like.
Well, play the clip.
It's not irrelevant,
go ahead, Ms. Vaz, you got it. Beans, if you wouldn't mind, can you send that or can you share your screen with that video? Because that video is unprovoked, right? So it's unadulterated if he hits the live button and speaks on something under his own what's the word I'm looking for, Aaron? Not fruition, under his own
volition.
That's volition. Yeah, and in that case, that's not the same. That's not the same circumstance.
Right. That's
but they're gonna say somebody asked him about it.
No, no one asked him about it. He went live.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can you share that, please?
This is what I'm saying, bro.
Go ahead. So let's do this, Mr. Fantastic. Let's get Arnold, and then we'll introduce Tommy. Tommy was goody.
So my first thing to Beans was Beans. I wasn't doing anything to give grace to so on and so forth. I was correcting Nightish because Nightish made it seem as if I was directly talking to Nightish, and it was in response to something. He said he just did it for no reason. I directly responded to Nightish and said, no, it was not a direct, just not done. He gave the reason for it, and I don't know. Didn't you read it in the thing? You read it. They actually read it. It was on the you read it in the what's the Instagram post, right? It said it brought up the Roger Jackson thing and all the other stuff with the dude that talked about skinning the kids.
Oh yeah, I read through that.
Baby, you are so talented.
He's and wanting to be white and all this other shit.
And they are so dumb. Mr. Fantastic. You know, again, I don't give a fuck if you go and make a stream about me because you're only guessing. So you can go ahead and make a stream. Bro, turn your goddamn camera off. Your hair look like rat shit and syrup with a mixture of some flour, some Jiffy cornmeal or some shit like that. You're dark skinned with a lime green shirt on. Lips look like you been caked in Vaseline. And you got the nerve up to be on a panel with your face where folks can see it. Is this the same nigga that drove 4 hours one way to get some coochie and didn't get none? Imagine, ladies and gents, that drive back. Imagine him going over to the rest stop because he was mad. And he went on and took out his tallywhacker, went into the rest stop, looked at the young lady's picture that she been sending him that's been doctored, thighs high, hair done, probably sprinkled the. He probably went to the store since she told him, I'd like good perfume. I don't like that cheap shit. He went and sprayed it with her favorite scent, got it in the car. Roses in the back seat, dead, no water. No water. Smoke coming out the tailpipe. He in his Georgia or big black guy t-shirt with a hat on that's too little for his head. Mad at the world, so he pull over at the rest stop and the dude knock on the stall and said, hey, mister, are you all right in there? Are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you? Well, I guess I could tell you because I don't know you. The bitch stood me up, man. I got 3.5 more hours before I could get home and take matters in my own hands and curse that bitch out on a live stream.
That, bro, it's not.
What do you
that.
mean
Listen,
it's not that?
okay, wait, let me give you.
I didn't interrupt you, so now I'm getting interrupted.
I know, but I'm.
Wait a minute. I thought it was me that made me feel like I thought it was me. Go ahead. I don't know why that popped in my head.
Just saying, let's have a conversation. Let me give you an accurate example. So I don't like it when somebody says the word dog. Nidus says dog, and I don't like it. And I'm like, man, I don't like when people say that word, but I know why you said it though. Then you say the word dog, and I'm like, man, see, niggas no, I don't like that word, bro. Like this, all you niggas do. You want to sit on the panel and say dog all day, bro. That's what you do. Don't make me go clip the shit up to show the world that that's what you do. When you talking about black people doing something, you speak about it as if it's in general. You say things like you niggas. You don't say it's a small percentage of you niggas. You say you niggas, right? That's how you talk, bro. So don't make it seem like I'm making something up. When I say that you giving grace, I'm not saying like you dick holding. That's why I'm using the term giving grace, because I'm just saying the way you.
Okay, nigga, you won't say it. I will, because that's exactly what he was doing. You dick holding, you dick riding. Again, I ain't got nothing good to say about Nick Fuentes, and well, I ain't got nothing good to say about him either. I got nothing good to say about Charlie Kirk. Birds of a feather flock together. Until if Charlie Kirk didn't say anything egregious about black people, that motherfucker would have never been on my radar. One thing he did, I'll give Charlie Kirk credit for. He had the foresight to name his movement Turning Point USA. Because I'm going to go back to the beginning of my video when I said, U.S. of United States of America, you got no choice but to look at the mirror. Because you can't blame black. You can't blame brown. You can't blame yellow. You can't blame unemployment. You can't blame bad parents. You can't blame religious political ideology. The only common thread that you can put blame is to that this motherfucker hated Charlie Kirk, that another white man, white on white crime, hated another white man enough to where he took that other white man's life. That's it. That's it.
Speaking about it, you saying this man being upset behind another man beating another man up was provoked to say I'm a skin children.
I said provoked. Now you're adding words to it.
You said don't make it seem like he just did it for no reason.
So he did.
What the fuck is that? Is that not provocation?
Literally the fact, and that's what I'm saying. And you niggas are so emotional. This is why I can't stand you niggas. Okay? I can't stand you niggas. We here now, right? I can't stand you niggas that look for an excuse to be a motherfucking victim in this race shit, bro.
Wait, but fantastic. Is that not provocation? If you're saying that he had a reason to do it, is that not provocation?
It is provocation, but I'm not motherfucking talking about it for the provocation to justify it. I'm just simply correcting someone for saying something that's not motherfucking correct on the fucking broadcast. What are you saying?
I didn't accuse you of justifying it.
I ain't cut nobody off.
But Fantastic, don't do that because I didn't accuse you of justifying it.
Everybody cut
lying, bro. Don't lie on me. I'm not gonna.
Well, you doing it in real time.
He didn't say you justified it. He didn't say you justified. That's all.
I didn't say you justified it.
Yeah.
You said, bro.
Mr. Fantastic, if you don't mind, what is the contentious point right now that we discussed?
And again, this is what I'm saying. This is why I don't go up on these man panels, because someone had the nerve, and why I say this, someone had the nerve the other day to take the time out of their busy motherfucking day to ask me, why I always see you over in the females streams? Where else the fuck would you see me at? That's like you asking me why the fuck you see me in the club. Hell, I'm supposed to join your circle jerk? I went over last night while I was listening to Candy Cane. Shout out to you, Candy Cane. I didn't know that you had a live stream, so I went back and listened to a few of your streams. That's what I'm talking about. But again, folks, because there's another black female making sense, if some of you loose niggas got wind of that, guess what you would do? You would be on your panel talking shit about it. Just like what's going on behind the scenes with Drip in front of and bringing it into the fucking camera. Trying to blame Rude for his fuck up. And then you got the broad up on the screen. No holds barred today. I don't give a fuck who you are. No holds barred today, because if you was part of that debacle that went on over there, you just as guilty. No holds barred. So whatever your name is, Shanika, no ma'am. You should have called that out, because you should have went with your first one and asked Drip. So you mean to tell me you'll sell me out too if the money's right? Huh? You'll sell me out too if the money right. I don't give a fuck who it is. And that's another thing. The reason why that was so fucking so much of a debacle, it wasn't the money. It was the person putting up the money. Because if that would have been any of us, it wouldn't have been no problem. Because since my man has a checkered past, that means his green come with liabilities.
The contentious point, bro, is again, he's doing exactly what he I guess he could say, I'm doing it. You're saying I'm bringing it up as provocation. Why would you say provocation? Because I'm saying, oh, that's what provoked him to do it. You're trying to insinuate that I justified it because saying he was provoked.
I'm not.
So why would you use that word? Your number one thing that you always say is word means things. Okay.
It does.
All I simply said, and I specifically told you, Nighty said something that was not factual. And I gave the context as to why what was said. Hamp literally read the shit on the fucking screen himself. The whole scenario. Okay? It's not because of me giving grace or none of this shit. So everything you're saying is being motherfucking inflammatory. Even saying I'm giving grace to a situation to where a white man threatened about fucking skinning and killing black kids. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
Hold on. The fact of the matter, you don't think I should defend myself?
The fact of the matter is, this is not what that title of that stream is. So if you had a problem with what Knight has said, maybe you should have fired up a stream and stick to the script. Hamp, this is what I would have told him. Mr. Fantastic, the title is about Charlie Kirk. Not about what you got your panties in a bunch about. Go comb your hair. Go sit down and work on your game. And if you got something to say about Charlie Kirk, unmute your mic. Other than that, go sit your ass down.
And that, and be offended by you even doing anything close to that, is crazy in itself. That's fucking ridiculous, dog.
What did I say was non-factual, though?
Hold on, Nightis, please.
You said he just did it unprovoked, Nightis. I don't know what you said exactly or whatever. You say he just did it or something before Hamp had read the thing.
Yeah, he had no reason to say that about some kids because he was mad at a podcaster. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
for
that's
him.
not what I'm saying. What Nighty said was that he just did it, just like whatever. No, and I'm telling you the full context of the situation.
It makes no difference what the full context of the situation is. That's a grown man. Whatever y'all talking about, as the more and more I listen to it, there's no defense for what he said. Whether he was mad at a podcaster, whether he was mad at a non-podcaster, the mere fact that he could reference skin and kids in any of that tells you all about that character. But I have heard you, Mr. Fantastic, because I do my little research on you loose niggas before I come up here, so you can't say I ain't never said that. Oh yeah, you a defender of Charlie Kirk, so much so that some folks refer to you as the Black Charlie Kirk. Tell me I'm lying, you liver-lip bastard.
An excuse that he might use is, oh well, I was mad because of the Roger Jackson situation.
Yeah,
now onto the will part of it is that Will, you did answer him the first time. He asked you what would be the justification for that, and you said, oh well, it's justified because black people had already done it. It's justified.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question, because I know I know Mr. Fantastic can answer this because you've done it. What was the last thing that Cinderella said when she got to the ball? Not my joke.
Because if the black people had did the same shit that y'all mad at Charlie Kirk about, saying, hey, Juneteenth don't need to be no holiday, that's justification. That is a direct answer to the fucking question.
You're literally right now arguing that if somebody else said something.
Wait a minute. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Y'all seen Liverwurst? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Just like I called Jay Prince a mudfish. Don't that nigga look like a mudfish? Y'all heard him? I went up on that nigga's panel the other day because he literally had somebody up there calling him buckwheat and every damn thing else, cheesing and grinning. I don't know if y'all could see that stream, but the nigga blocked me. Thank you, JP. You won't show up in my algorithms at all now. And then you went on to somebody else panel, and this dude named Empress finished from laying your sandboard ass. You another one. You do look like a mudfish. You look like that little cartoon mudfish, to be exact. The little purple little motherfucker with the. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. That's what he looked like.
That's justification for me saying the same thing.
So I had to oversimplify things. That's why I had to restate the answer.
Yes.
Oh
if
God.
your excuse, hold on. So the question would be this. So the follow-up question. So why weren't you mad when the nigga said it?
Exactly.
Why weren't you mad when black people said it?
Exactly.
Right. Okay, cool. Here's the thing. I wasn't mad when he said it. That's not the point.
So why are you claiming it's racist?
Fantastic. Can I have a second? First of all, the question was, why would he? So let me give you an example so that nobody can pretend like they don't understand. We got first degree murder, we got second degree murder, we got manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, negligent homicide. Why do all of those exist? Because people do the same thing for different fucking reasons. So if I say June 19th shouldn't be a holiday, my reason for saying that does not mean it's the same fucking reason if Charlie Kirk.
I said your name is Toby. Kunta Kinte. Damn. Steve. What I say about him?
Fantastic. What I'm saying is this.
Again, folks. Even the sun shine on a dog ass, because again, I agree with Beans. There's all stages of what they call this white supremacy. Just because he was not the originator, that don't make it right for Charlie Kirk to say, I don't give a fuck where he picked it up from. Is there more than one grocery store? Do all of y'all shop at the neighborhood Walmart grocery store? I know I don't. I might shop at Kroger. I might shop at Food Line. I might shop at Publix. I might even go to the convenience store, depending on what I feel like doing. But what that mean? I got options. Just because I go to them stores, that don't mean I got to tell you, hey, you should go to that store only. Make a difference what I say. Charlie Kirk of his own free will, whether he heard someone say it or not. No one poked him in the side and said, here, say this now, Mr. Fantastic. You got up right alongside of Cell, didn't you? Y'all alarm clock. Y'all got bunk beds, don't you? So when you jumped down, you woke Cell up, huh? What, nigga? It's time to get up and act dumb today. Mom already fixed us our bowl of stupid. It's warming up in the kitchen.
What I'm saying is this. That sounds insane. Just because I think it's not a reason for, just because I said it is not a reason for you to say it. You don't say every fucking thing I say. You have your own reason why we agree on shit. Me and you both can agree on something, and you will have a whole different total reason why you think it, and I'll have another reason why I think it. You know that that's true. So what I'm saying is when we listen to Charlie Kirk, what I asked him was, and I asked him for his opinion. So technically he did answer my question, but it was on a technicality. What I said was, in your opinion, why do you think he would say that? And he said, because black people said it. Fantastic. Yes or no? Please, brother, I'm begging you to be genuine. Do you think anything that comes out of Charlie Kirk's mouth is said because black people say it? Or do you think he thinks for himself?
I think it has bearing from what black people say, their opinion. Yeah. You ask.
You can't be this dumb. You can't be on a stream praising Charlie Kirk. See, this is like child's play. Again, these folks get up on this panel and they think they know so much. They just expound what they hear. They see a few lines, a few clicks, and they see a few views, and they hear what Bundy's farting out their ass. You ate eggs this morning. And let me go ahead and repeat that to everybody, because it Mr. Fantastic. You heard that somewhere else, didn't you? Because absolutely no way that you can believe what you just said. So to say that, on one hand, you want to big up Charlie Kirk. And on the other hand, you want to say Charlie Kirk is so stupid that he got to take the words of black people and deliver it. But then again, Mr. Fantastic, when one of us call y'all out for saying that's why you should not have white folks on your panel, and I'm going to call every name today. I don't give a flying fuck who you are. That's why I tell y'all, don't have white folks on your panel. No disrespect, white folks. But a lot of y'all come to these panels with bad intent. Y'all come there to raise shit so you can put it in your bag and take it back to your panel and say, see, this is what they really think. That's what they use Candace Owens for. That's what they use that loose nigga for, ABL, to talk about his grandmother brought him and the clan brought his grandmother turkeys on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving coming up. Get that oven ready, nigga. Bird coming. Angry man. Winter coming, BGS. What you gonna do? I'm calling all names today. I don't give a fuck how many streams y'all niggas make about me. What you gonna do? Dox me again? What y'all gonna say? He lived with his mama? My mama gone. What you gonna say? I'm wrong? No, you can't. Y'all heard what Mr. Fantastic just said. Charlie Kirk only repeats what black folks say. How many of y'all black folks? Put a one down in the chat room. How many of y'all black folks ever talked to Charlie Kirk? How many of y'all folks was aware of Charlie Kirk before he got shot? Honestly. One in the chat? 1.5? Anybody? How many of y'all really heard of Charlie? Oh, I got a 0. Never. That's what that translates to. Most folks never heard of Charlie Kirk until that fatal day that he was taken off this planet. Angry Snowman. Think about that. The name in itself says all I need to know, that this is not somebody that I would listen to. The Angry Snowman.
me the question, then I answer it. So being that he has
that's not me laughing, that's him.
Well, yes, being that he has close ties to, and that's just dumb niggas laughing. Niggas that are very, very low IQ.
Why gotta be a dumb nigga though?
And because you're being a dumb nigga. Because
Let's
you
go to
have
video.
No,
you have
fantastic.
an emotional attachment to something, right? What you do is you do immature shit. You laugh and giggle like a bitch. But it's okay.
No, I'm not a bitch. I'm not a dumb nigga. What I was saying, bro, their default is
so this is what we saying is right. So this is
the minority.
Listen here, Mr. Fantastic. Hey Mel, how you doing? When all else fails, when they cannot beat you intellectually, folks, the first thing they will do, and this holds true in any, if you call this a debate, Mr. Fantastic, you lost a long time ago. Let me read this right here. As if it's okay. Couldn't think for himself. Come on now. He clearly had an agenda. Absolutely, he did, and he was paid to do it well. You're absolutely right. He prodigious. That's a big word right there. What did I say that right? That's a big word there, Mel. You got to come with some little smaller words. I ain't ready for big words today. I'm in loose nigga mode. Okay. But you're absolutely right. He had an agenda. And unfortunately, the other guy's agenda was just a little bit more important. It is that he was willing to take Charlie Kirk out because of his agenda. Again, the last time there was this type of assassination was on a college campus, was the same guy doing this very same thing, going to college campuses, propagating. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was 1947, somewhere around in there. But they lit him up too. Let me read this next comment right here. And Cassandra, I don't understand why they allow Imperious to come up on their platform. I would never. I don't care what. There's nothing I would ever debate him about. Absolutely nothing. I see no reason in God's green earth on a blue Sunday to have Imperious on your planet, other than for shock and awe. That's it. They're hoping somebody pay you a super chat to pay him to get off, and he'll pay another $25, $30 to come back up, and somebody else will pay it to come back off. That's the only reason I could see why you would have Imperious on your platform. That's it. No. And you know, let me read this. Let me see if I can highlight this. Where is it at? My chat ain't never moved this fast in a while. Yeah, it said maybe they have binged their watching content all day. And that's part of it, Shard. You got to think about it. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day. These guys go from panel to panel. A lot of them don't work. That was one of the contentions that I had with Beans, that he was on the stream one day boasting to anyone that would listen how he chose to live his life. Able-bodied man living off the government, and was proud of it. Same thing with JP. So that was my contention with him. Where we at next here? Let me read this next comment. There it is. Tim, no, it's a lot of people have though. If you've been listening to the news and you've been following the news like I have, a lot of people has been compared him, especially over there on the Fox News side of things. The candlelight vigils that they have, they've even on TikTok. I'm sure a lot of you folks have TikTok, and you see some of the memes to where they've actually superimposed his face onto that religious figure. Some of these folks are literally fanatics. So no, I would not put Charlie Kirk in a saintly light at all. And that's what they're hoping, that he becomes a martyr. And the main reason, the only reason I'm speaking on Charlie Kirk is because these brothers up here. If these brothers was not on this channel speaking about Charlie Kirk the way he would, I wouldn't waste my time. But you're right. There's a whole lot of people out there that's comparing him to the, like he said, Let me go through some more of these comments before we push this button. And see, this is another thing, Jalen. I've seen this. I've seen these comments floating around, and I've seen a lot of streams. And one of the days I'm going to cover this, where a lot of these content creators, the reason why they peddle this information because they're getting well to peddle it. Someone is forking that money under the table for them to say these things. That's why I asked in the beginning: are you folks getting paid? Are you willing to sell your soul for a few coins? Because a lot of stuff that we heard today, as a black person, black man, black woman, or black child with a registered mind, there's no way that you can think that Charlie Kirk was not a racist, not a moderate racist, not a sometime racist, but a full-blown white supremacist. And that's not tarnishing this legacy. I have the right to speak that this is how this man presented himself to the world. And because he's passed on to the other realm, we're supposed to forget that now and sing his Jubilee praises. No, thank you. Not here. Not me.
Even though we don't have the kind of power that you're trying to suggest that we have. I understand he asked you a question. You keep putting me in it when I was completely silent.
I wasn't talking about you. You weren't even
silent. You brought me up 4 times.
Bro, because again, bro, you missed your chance on that. No one said nothing about Nightish. No one said about Nightish.
I was silent.
But either way, listen, this is the thing, right? So again, to act like he wasn't close friends with actual black people and conservatives that he has intimate knowledge of that may have, told them their problems and their ideology, y'all don't even consider that, right? The people that are around you have no impact on your fucking ideology and your thought process on the subject matter in any way, right, Beans? You just, I'm white and they black, so fuck them, and they this and they.
No, actually, Tiff, I'm dead serious. When I'm going from place to place sometime, I will, of course, scan through TikTok or scan through YouTube while I'm riding here or riding there. And I've literally seen it. You go back and just actually go to YouTube and type in Charlie Kirk vigils. You'll see a lot of that. You will definitely see a lot of that. But there it is again, Mr. Fantastic, talking out the side of his neck. Not really about the subject. It's about feeling with him. Let's roll.
That and fuck Juneteenth. Again,
In the macro, yes, I agree with you.
I know you do because it's factual. So that's what I'm saying. So how are you expecting? You're asking fucking Will. So what do you think Charlie Kirk thought? It could be anything. The fuck? I don't know what his opinion was. The justification was. Hold on, fam. I'm finna wrap it up.
Absolutely.
The justification is this: if you say it, it's okay for me to fucking say it. You can't be mad at me saying it. It may not be correct. It may be a cop-out. It may be whatever the fuck you want to call it. But Beans, if you say some wild shit and I say some wild shit, me repeating you saying it, you don't have the right to fucking get mad for me saying some shit you said. That is the essence of the motherfucking argument. If black people go out here...
Well, Mr. Fantastic and all you other loose niggas up there, I hope you take what you say to heart. Because I done said a whole lot of mean shit about y'all up here today. So don't take it to heart. All right. It's jokes, nigga. Funny. Ha ha. I wish you would. I got that thing that they can clip, that you can record a screen. So be careful what you say to me because I'll zero in on it. I ain't busy next week. I got time next week. He might, Jalen.
Saying this and that and all this other shit, and so on and so forth. You can't only be upset when a white person says the shit. That's the fucking whole point of the argument, bro.
Okay, fantastic. I understand the argument, but what I'm saying is that you see how I'm giving you my understanding, right? And I'm asking you for yours. I'm saying in reality, though, there's no way that you believe that this man makes those kind of statements based on anybody else but himself. No, this man, he isn't lauded the way he's lauded. Flags flying at half staff and all this. My whole YouTube timeline is Charlie Kirk. that ain't because he went around regurgitating other people's talking points. He is being lauded as the one who provokes the conversation. He goes across the world from state to state to country, to continent to continent, debating and having the conversations. Nobody believes that anything this man says out of his mouth is coming from anybody else. It's all coming from him. So
I'm gonna ask one more question.
Hold on, real quick. I shared the video, Hamp. It's down there if you can see it.
Okay,
everybody.
Okay, before we get to this video, one thing I don't like is how you tried to chop the video up until my man called you out on. But he's absolutely right now. But watch this, folks. Even faced with the fact that Charlie Kirk said what he said, you already saw the look of, damn, I don't know what I'm doing up here. This dude is kicking my ass for Mr. Fantastic. He got the look of, that old Irish salute look on his face. Y'all know what I'm talking about when you throw your hands up. That's the look he got on his face like that. There's no, I hate to say this. Well, I don't hate to say this. Big ups to you, Beans, but you mopping the floor with these fools. You didn't really need this, but I'm glad you pulled it up. Let's go.
A lot of people are going to be saying happy.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
All right, Tommy been patient too. Is Tommy still here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, I'm here.
It should not be a federal holiday, and I'm on my way to work.
We got to rewind it.
Have a good day.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Okay, everybody. A lot of people are going to be saying happy Juneteenth. It should not be a federal holiday, and I'm on my way to work. Have a good day.
Where's the provocation?
Okay. Somebody asked, where's the provocation? I don't know who asked because I came in a little bit before this. So when he said there'll be a lot of people celebrating Juneteenth, who is he talking about? How many of y'all have white friends that say, ooh, I can't wait till tomorrow is Juneteenth? No disrespect to my Latino friends, but how many of y'all really celebrate Juneteenth other than a day off? You don't. So who was he talking to? How many of my Japanese folks that might come through here? How many times do y'all celebrate Juneteenth? How many times it's even brought up in your households? No disrespect when I say that. So who was he talking to when he says there'll be a lot of people celebrating Juneteenth? He was not talking about but one demographic of people, and he was talking about us. We were the only slaves to celebrate Juneteenth. He wasn't talking to the folks that was born on that day in Juneteenth.
There's no provocation. What's the problem?
Where's the question being asked?
No, my question to you is there is no wait, Tommy, hold on. I'm answering Beans. There is no provocation. He uploaded the video, he said what he said. What's the problem?
The problem is that you lied, and I want you to take accountability for lying.
For saying what?
That somebody asked him.
Okay, so that video someone asked him. In a debate that he had in 2014, I want to say it was, a black person approached him and they asked him that same question. If the video was still up, I would go find it for you. But a lot of those videos is down because he changed up his platform. But again, I've been watching.
Well, one thing, wait a minute, Sal. One thing for sure, every video that Charlie Kirk has ever posted is up. It's still up. Whether he posted videos from 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, when he was in college, when he started founding Turning Point USA, every video is funny that you can find all them videos of him disparaging women, him disparaging people in the alphabet community, of him disparaging black folks, but you can't find the one video. You can't remember the exact date. But Beans just pulled out a video like proof. Here it is. Here's the proof. Like he said, there was no provocation to what he said. No one prompted him to turn on his live stream that day while he was driving and say what he said. There was no provocation. He's a free-thinking individual. He has the right to say what he wants to say. And we have the right to critique what he says. You see that, folks, right there? Appreciate that, Jalen. Juneteenth became a holiday in 2021. That's what she posted there. Was she wrong? I don't know. Somebody tell me somebody go find out when the official Juneteenth. I think it wasn't very long ago. It really wasn't. But before that, quiet as it kept. We always talked about it. We've always talked about Juneteenth.
This man says 2012. You can't play me something from recent and say, well, this is the reason why he's racist. And I can tell you about the conversation, just like the conversation that he had at Oxford College when they was lying on Trump and they lied on the FBI and they lied on the CIA. See, this is the problem. A lot of people are chiming in to what Charlie Kirk has said then and now, and they just now get into the conversation. And they're not listening subjectively. They're listening objectively because of their racism.
Right. Absolutely.
All he said is that he was.
Hold on, Mattis, please. Hold on. Since I've been on this show today, have you heard me say that Charlie Kirk was a racist one time?
No.
Okay. I didn't do. I'm telling the truth. But you're taking it personally.
I'm not. You're talking to me, and I'm looking for answers for what I'm saying out of my mouth, and you're responding in these general ass.
No, I answer.
That's not what I'm saying,
you.
Right?
I got you. And I answer.
The same way how you over talking me now, right? And you don't want nobody to do it to you.
Go ahead.
You responding in this very general.
Listen.
Again, no. Hold up, fellas. No. Every answer that you gave him was coded with bullshit. Neither one of you have answered this brother's correct question directly. You've sugarcoated it with bullshit that made it easier to digest, so he doesn't hold you to one particular viewpoint. Both of y'all have dodged his questions completely with other things. Sal, you just brought up Barack Obama. What's the former president? What the fuck did he have to do with this conversation? What does he have to do with Charlie Kirk? Nothing. Again, completely off the subject. Hey, Taylor, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Completely off the subject, Sal. No real answer. Yeah, and he does look like a Frederick Douglass, a bad version of it, but he does. You folks let me know if I start barking down there or whatever, okay?
I'm not. The conversation is unproductive with all the decorum. That's it. That's the key word. So we can be more productive and get through it. All right. Now, interjections happen during the conversation, but we just got to try to lessen them as much as possible because this is important. This is substantive. We ain't talking about bad behavior in relationships right now. All right. So I'm asking. Who had the floor? Was Bean saying something?
Just go to Tommy because you've been trying to get to him.
All right, yeah, I want to get Tommy in because the thing is, we get Tommy in, he not gonna go straight far from what we're talking about anyway. He right here on the conversation. Tommy, what's goody?
So let me ask you, Hamp. Wait a minute, Tommy, hold on a second. So Hamp, let me ask you, brother, how long was it going to take you to correct them brothers? Because neither one of him, Sal, or Mr. Fantastic was on point at any time. Beans asked you a direct question. When he asked you, have you ever, during the course of this live stream, did you hear him refer to Charlie Kirk as a racist? No, he didn't. Point blank. Was that the turning point to make you say, well, you know what? These guys really ain't answered my question yet. All they've done is deflected. But let's go.
So even going off of what you said, Will, his last words prove you wrong. Because his last words, the question was not about black people at all. When they asked him about that, we all know what he was talking about. And that's a great diversion. It's a great
No, I'm not saying anything. I want you to finish.
Is to but are we including this? I said this somewhere else. The ironic part about it is the exact day that shit happened to him, what that person asked him about happened that day. That's what they were talking about. But his diversion tactic was, well, are we going to include Nobody asked you about that. And that was kind of one of his strategies of how I feel he was pushing propaganda. One of the things that...
Okay, folks, before we go any further, for those of you down in the lounge right now, if you don't mind, if I use the word gang, please type in what ethnicity do you think I am speaking of when I use the word or the words gang affiliation. Could you please type down to me a 1 if you believe I'm talking about black people, a 2 if you believe I'm talking about white people, a 3 if you think I'm talking about Japanese people, a 4 if you think I'm talking about Polish people. If I say gang affiliated, who y'all think I'm talking about? Anybody? Who y'all think I'm talking about? Now listen to this while you type it in. Black. I'll wait a few more minutes. And Taylor says black. Anybody else want to take a stab if I say a gang affiliation or gang? What color am I thinking? What color person am I trying to describe? Or I think he in a gang. Yeah, I think he run with old boys. I think he went with the Bloods or the Crips. Yeah, I think he part of the rolling 60s. I think he part of Crenshaw Mafia. I think he down with the GDs. Yeah, Jalen in New York, you're right. It does depend. You're absolutely right. Giving grace for that. You're absolutely right. But as an overall general factor, most of us think black when we hear gang or gang affiliation. Whether it's right or wrong, that's just what we all have our biases when it comes to certain words. No disrespect when I say it. But listen to this.
It really turned me off to him, and it wasn't a quote I seen printed. I seen him say it out his mouth, was the Martin Luther King thing. He was an awful man. He was a rapist. Wait, huh? A man that was under FBI watch 24 hours, a man that they wanted to shut down his situation, and you mean to tell me they just kicked their feet up and just watched him go around and just ingrate women? Like, that don't even make sense. But that's what he was pushing. I also seen him one time where he was pushing these statistics, and he said out his mouth, mind you, he's a multimillionaire. Google is free. So in my head, you're doing this on purpose. Absolutely. Black people make up 50% of the prison population. Wrong. White people do. Black people make up 38. So in my head, I'm going.
Absolutely right, folks. And that is a statistic that white supremacists try to push every chance that they get, that we are predominantly the folks that are in prison. No, they are actually the ones that what happens is they forgot. We are the most convicted. That's why we end up in jail. Although they get charged more, they are more successful at being beaten, not ended up with jail time as a slap on the wrist. As with what's going on with this Trump debacle right now, you saw what they did to this known sex offender. They gave her a cush place to stay. Unprecedented. For someone, and that's another thing, Ms. Jalen, no one will fact check. The violent crimes, white men of the ages from 18 to 35 commit more crimes of violent sexual crimes in the United States. White men commit more heinous crime than black folks. Those are facts. So they like to bring up statistics. Well, the man just gave you the number. 59% of the folks that commit crime that are convicted, even though the number should be higher, are white men. 38% are black men. But you'll hear them tell y'all it's us. Those are facts.
Is he doing this because this is what he believes? Or does he want to push this to somebody who he knows isn't going to double back and check these numbers and just go off of what you said? Most people are going to do that. They're not going to double back and check the numbers. They're going to go off of what you said. So now you got people walking around thinking black people make up 50% of prison population, and they don't. He said we have more M's. No, we don't. Now you can do, he meant, no, I don't give a fuck what he meant. Again, what we say, words mean something. And he's from what I understand, an intelligent person. He said we have more crime. He said we have more, as in totality, not per capita. That's what he said out of his mouth. That's propaganda that's pushed.
And he absolutely did, folks. Anytime that you want to go look up a Charlie Kirk video, you will hear him say that black people, just by virtue of being black, are more susceptible to committing crime than any other ethnicity. And he's not said it once. He has doubled down on this, not once, twice, several times. He's doubled down on the fact that he said that black women do not have the brain capacity as other white women. And why I use the word women, because at this point in time where he was trying to make that reference, he was talking about Michelle Obama. He was talking about a few other prominent women. If he's a distraction, Miss Jalen, he's a big distraction. I don't think he's a distraction. I think he's the norm. And that's what I mean. By his death, that forced white America to take a look at themselves. See how many of them are crying. See how many of them are mourning this man's death. And see how many of them quietly will help his widow to continue on his legacy. That's the one that we have to worry about. Not the one that was out in front. The one that was putting his shirt on in the morning. That's the one who we need to worry about. Same thing with Trump. That's what we need to worry about.
And I think this misnomer of people are mad because of a disagreement is not of a disagreement. I think what's making people even more mad is, again, when you have half-mast of flags, and you literally in April had a government official, a congresswoman, get knocked down, and they didn't even do that for her. If you don't see that as a problem, I don't even know what to say. And I don't care what side of you on, left, right, it doesn't matter. If somebody that works as a congressperson passes away, and you don't fly the flag at half-staff, but somebody who, if you don't see that, that's crazy to me.
Okay, cool. So the very last question to Charlie Kirk was, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Kirk responded, too many. He followed up with a question. He says, do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Kirk responded, counting or not counting gang violence. Now, let me ask a question. Where does gang violence have to do with black people? And please do not.
Okay, first and foremost, see, this is what they are allowed to do. This is they didn't want to own this moniker. When I see they, I mean those white mass shooters. They didn't want to own this moniker by themselves. The media didn't want them to own this moniker by itself, but because that put a stain on the whole of white America, because that's the majority of where white men come from that decide to wake up in the morning and kill somebody. From that particular sector of men, white. But the new media won't tell you that. They wanted to change the idea of what a mass shooting is to include those guys that they call gangs that might shoot each other or shoot at each other. That is now considered a part of mass shooting. Or if there's one or two people shooting at each other, that is now considered a mass shooting. Whereas before, the term mass shooting came from white men going into schools. I think the term really became popular when the Columbine incident happened. And I do believe that was in the late 90s or the early 2000s. That's when we started using the term mass shooting more in our vernacular. So if we go back and look at the term of mass shooting and who was conducting these said mass shootings, it was usually a white man. It was usually, as they called him, a disgruntled white teenager. There was no transgender. There was no black folks. We didn't have our first mass shooter until the Virginia guy. That's when we had our first mass shooting. It was in 92? Wow. That's when we had our first man. When the guy ran around from Georgia to Virginia, shooting folks, shooting bus drivers, shooting folks, shooting grass, shooting folks, putting gas in the car, all because he was mad at a woman. What's his name? John Malvo, and I forgot the other guy's name. But see how easily a young mind can be corrupted. See how a young mind that's craving for attention can be corrupted. Because a lot of these manifestos that these young white shooters leave nowadays are saying that they are a part of an organization that they call the white or the black manosphere, that they are or they prescribe to the red pill ideology, the blue pill ideology, the black pill ideology, or if they're the rainbow, the pink ideology. But if they all look at it, if you look at it in its totality, the very same thing that they say they dislike the most is being ran by a woman. But guess what? Find out where all that pink pill, red pill, blue pill stuff came from. The brain of a woman, the mind of a woman.
I paint the narrative that the word gang means black, because if I'm Japanese, the word gang means Yakuza. If I'm Chinese, the word gang means triad. If I'm Haitian, the word gang could be anything. So again, please tell me, no, excuse me, I don't need you right now, Mr. Google. Please tell me how a white person asks another white person about mass shooters and the white person says gang violence. How does that attribute to black people? Please, by all means.
As I was being called a bitch ass.
I only want no Nidus. No, don't jump in. No, nobody jump in and save him. Go ahead.
Ain't no saving.
What they go?
We got
what
9 people.
Right. I'll let you talk, brother. But what they gonna save him about? And I gotta ask you again, Sel. What is your angle, bro? Because you cannot say honestly that you don't know when somebody, especially when you're talking amongst brothers, or especially when you hear a white man say they are not speaking about Japanese. Most people don't know the Japanese have gangs. They're not talking about the mob because they have identified the gangs of the mafia by calling them the mob. When they say mob, you know that you're speaking of someone of Italian descent. You know that. That's just the moniker that we gave them. And they gave themselves. But the original gangs was, white gangs. I really would like to know, Sal, what is your angle? It's got to be all about the money, bro, because you cannot believe half the stuff that you are expounding. Yeah, I've calmed down a little bit because I can't believe that you fellas are that stupid. Bag your dumb ass in the refrigerator. You might as well go ahead and get you some from under cheese from these nuts that y'all been carrying, spread it on and keep on eating, because I don't believe there's any help for you. As long as they paying you to say this shit, you're going to continue. So you might as well go ahead and eat all the from under cheese that you can from folks like the Duck. I says the Duke, the Duck.
On the panel. When you say the word gang violence, what's the first thing that comes to your head? I'll wait.
Sure. Nine black people on the panel. What's the first thing y'all think of when y'all hear gang?
You blaming black people for your own ideology with how you think.
Let them.
Wait. Exactly. 9 black people on the panel. What's the first thing y'all think of when y'all hear the word gang?
Black.
What's the first thing you think of when you hear the word thug?
Self-inflicted.
Oh, okay. So then that would mean that people are making appointments to be offended by words. So you said words mean something. Tell me.
No, you asked a question. What we think
Stop butting in. Stop butting in.
Come on, man.
And see, again, this is what you like to do. You like to muddy the waters with a comment that makes absolutely no sense. No, you didn't make any sense of what you just said. Folks are not offended by words. You asked a question, and the first thing that you heard was black. You didn't care about anything else after that. You was trying to dig yourself out of that hole that you just dug. Yes, when someone says gang, whether we like it or not, we just automatically think We can call it through situational training. You could call it through just hearing it over and over. However you want to decide to call it. When someone says gang, the first person that they think of is probably black men. And probably, to even simplify it even more, young black men. As soon as you say gang to me, that's the first picture I come up with. Now, that might be wrong of me, or that might be right of me, but that's the picture that I automatically come up with. Matter of fact, I see a flag or two hanging from a few pockets. I might see a Raiders cap. I might see some kind of football cap. I might see a nigga with a damn medallion on. I might see something. I don't see too many white folks walking around except for those few wannabes, culture vultures that want to join the gang. I never understood the idea of getting beat up to be a part of anything. I never understood the idea of getting jumped by 40 niggas with an attitude who ain't had no pussy in months, beat on you until they get tired, just to say you're a part of something. I don't even want to be no parts of that. If that's a deterrent to stay away from the gang, that's all I need. That's what I should say. Instead of telling folks, don't be a part of the gang, just show them the initiation video. That's all you got to do. And I think that'll stop a whole lot of niggas from joining the gang. You mean I got to get my ass whipped first? They ain't tell me that. That's part of it too, low self-esteem. Some people looking for a sense of belonging. ABT. I do believe so. Sometimes I do believe that is why some kids join gangs. That maybe they have a bad home life. Maybe they're just looking for some place to be. And a lot of times, a lot of these kids join these gangs because they think they're tough. Because they take the easy route. It's easy to learn how to steal than it is to find a trade. And for you old niggas that's still in the gangs, how long you gonna be in the gang? What you gonna do? The crip walk out your wheelchair? How long you gonna hold up the moniker? I'm in the gang. You think them, as they call them, YNs? Let me ask y'all niggas YN something. Why do you allow yourself to be called YN, a young nigga? Why not YBM, young black man? You cats out there with your braids looking like George Jefferson, you only got part of that. All your damn near hair going, so you got part of it braided up. Some of you niggas on the YouTube dyeing your beards, still wearing clothes from the 1990s, looking like what's that? L, look like you about to audition for a LL Cool video. Mama said, "Knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. Hit me." Talking about I got the latest fashion. Keep wearing it. It might come back in style. Window pane jeans, velour sweaters. You know, you might even be lucky that you got an uncle that was living back in the 70s. He might have a leisure suit that you can borrow. So when you jump off of Charlie Kirk's nuts, you can float right on back down to the reality that as soon as, like Candace Owens, like so many other black folks that's caped for that part of white America, like Brandon Tatum, they're going to hand you your black card. They're going to tell you exactly what they think about you. Here's what they think about you. God damn, I'm glad y'all said it all. Used to be hard, now you're just wet and soft. Said you was down with Charlie. Nah, niggas, don't come back now. Don't call it a comeback.
We're talking about white on white crime, right? So
let him
what
respond.
does
Hey, Will, let him respond. That's a point that deserves a response for sure. So Tommy, did he freeze?
No, he there. He moving.
The question on the table is our assumption, and you're saying a safe assumption for most people is that when they hear gang, we see black. Is that a fault of Charlie Kirk's?
No.
I just want to understand.
No.
You was asking me that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I think that's just in general because of how we've been. Okay, there's certain words, right? There's white thugs. We know this.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear the word thug, white don't pop up in your head. Is that because of us? Or is that because that's how America is pretty much conditioned everybody to think?
So if I'm Italian, if I hear the word gang, do I think of the mob?
Yeah, they don't call each other gangs.
Okay, so if I hear mob, do I think of what they call themselves?
If you heard mob, you think of Italians.
Okay, so if you heard mob, you think of Italians. So if you hear gang, you automatically think black. So let me ask you a question. What do you call a violent group of white people?
A mob.
You can call them. They call them a mob, but.
I call a violent group of white people a mob. I call a violent group of black people a mob. I call a violent group of Japanese people a mob. I call a violent group of Puerto Rican people a mob. I call a violent group of Filipino people a mob. I call a big group of violent Honduran people a mob. I don't give a fuck what color they are. If you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 motherfuckers ready together to get a fight or come against and fight against you, I'm about to go up against this mob. I don't give a damn what part of the world he come from. I'm gonna stop him. Hey man, before I hit you, where you from again? Oh, I can't fuck with you. No, nigga, I see you as part of the mob. The fuck is you talking about, Sel?
They don't have. What I'm saying is there isn't a specific word besides maybe like white supremacists.
So Will,
just naturally think
let me ask a question to Will. So Will, what is being proposed is the inference, right? So is it safe to say that when he says gang, the inference for the majority of people is that he's referring to black people?
No,
because you can't say black people, right? In that breath. Go ahead.
He wasn't talking about. This is my opinion because I'm not Charlie Kirk. I don't know what he was talking about. But in my opinion,
okay, this is your opinion. You say you're not Charlie Kirk, okay, and you can't speak for Charlie Kirk. What you doing up here? This whole conversation is about Charlie Kirk. So you know you cannot speak for Charlie Kirk. None of us can. Even if Charlie Kirk was still alive, we could not speak for him. We can only speculate what Charlie Kirk is talking about. But for the most of the people that are speculating, the last words that came out of Charlie Kirk's mouth, he was about to use a dog whistle. And we know what a dog whistle is. Instead of saying what you actually mean, you use a code word. Sell. The dog whistle code word that Charlie Kirk said right before that bullet met him was gang violence. And there was no need for in reference or inference of that. He could have answered the question without adding gang violence to it.
Oh, nigga, please. Nigga, please.
Hey, Sal, one more thing. You and Mr. Fantastic, let me ask you a question.
What did the 5 fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
This is what he was talking about. The previous question was about trans mass shooters or school shooters in America. The follow-up question was about mass shooters in America. His counter to that was counting or not counting gang violence. Gang does not necessarily equate to black. That can equate to anything because we have seen that there's been a multitude of people to attack people within their own culture that's outside of black. I think just because when black people hear his answer, they say, oh, he's automatically talking about black people and they're attributed to everything that he's been asked about when it comes to the black.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
community. That does not mean, nor should that paint his statement as racist.
Yeah, exactly. It's self-inflicted, and then too, I was gonna ask Tommy, you in Cali, right? I think they and down in Texas too. They got a whole bunch of Mexican and Hispanic gangs, don't they? In out Cali, right?
Bro, every race has gangs. What I'm saying is,
when
you say gang violence, we know what like y'all. All right, if
it depends on who listening to it, bro. So listen, I can tell you this: if you say gang and a Mexican thinking about it, he not motherfucking thinking about motherfucking black gangs. He thinking about fucking what's the name. So it's dependent on the listener. And your motherfucking need to be a victim, if that's your want to have a victim and tell, oh man, he talking shit about black people.
Right,
that's the fucking problem. You prove the point.
Can I make a point right quick? Just really quick,
and then let me get Knight, because Knight been trying to.
Even when it comes to white people, when they say that a gang of bikers, they don't call them just a biker club anymore. They say a gang of bikers went into a town and they wreaked havoc, or they say a gang of vipers, they transported or they followed a kid to the school to make sure that he was protected. So that's what I'm saying. What's happening here now in 2025 is people are taking and twisting the context of the words and they're applying it to their own biases.
Go ahead, Knight.
Again, the statement I made earlier was about, in general, that the default is black people. Then, when I was quiet while Fantastic talked, he's brought my name up 4 times and said, Night is said, and I didn't say a word. I was completely quiet. It's not about me. I don't take this stuff personally. When that man brought up them statements and he said gang and all that, the default is black people. I understand what y'all saying. They're not thinking about the damn Yakuza. They're not thinking about Italians unless we back in the 50s. You thinking in 2025, when they say gangs, they thinking about the Yakuza and the Italians?
Nightish, in a mass group of white people. And these white people are MAGA, and then you have the Democratic liberal. Hold on, let me finish my question really quick.
No, I was talking Fantastic that brought my name up 4 times.
I got you, but you reference to my point.
Go after Fantastic. I was quiet while Fantastic brought my name up 4 times. Called me a bitch ass nigga and everything else. And then at the same time, he said people go after him. I like Fantastic. I think he's a cool dude.
And I really need the people that are edified on this to communicate more concisely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't want to go through that again, folks. This stream was about a little over an hour long, right? And each time, as you can see, the majority of the conversation was these niggas arcing back and forth with each other about who was right or who was talking about who. They were not on point. Cellulite was talking about shit that had no reference to the point. But he was so busy trying to cover for that part of white America that the content of the stream was lost. So I do think this is when Hamp comes back and tries to gather. Listen, folks, listen, fellas, this is what we're really talking about.
So we can get everybody's opinions in. Aaron with the $2 says, why white people on SM begging for forgiveness? What's SM?
What is SM?
Yeah, you got to tell
social media.
Duh, right?
Damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Darlene, hey, Hamp, panel, and chat. Have a great show. That's a fact. That acronym be kicking my ass. What's up, Darlene? Appreciate you. JT with the $5 says HR 1280- George Floyd Justice and Policing Act of 2021. Okay. What is that one? I gotta look it up. Aaron with the $2 says, as long as they ain't bothering me, nigga mentality. Lex from Texas, what's popping?
Okay, I don't know how he went on with the super chats because this part I didn't see. So let me just say something about that super chat. You see how quickly they will gloss over something that should have been talked about. We've had all these folks, that something happened to them. In this case, it's Charlie Kirk. Something happened to him. All of a sudden, they want to do legislation to prevent that. They want to do something about guns. But when it comes to us, when it was about George Floyd, regardless of whether you think that that man had drugs in his system or not, he did not deserve to die, just like you folks said that about Charlie Kirk. George Floyd did not deserve to die at the knee of some cat with his hand in his pocket. Charlie Kirk did not deserve to die at the business end of a guy with an attitude, with a difference of opinion is. Neither one of those men should have gone out like that. Whether you believe that Charlie Kirk was a racist or whether you believe George Floyd was a drug addict. That's not the point. The point of the matter is, and it seems to me for this entire argument, that you guys were trying to say that Charlie Kirk was not a racist. And you went through hell and high water on your channel, I'm sure, because I heard some of it, that how right Charlie Kirk was, and that we should not be talking about Charlie Kirk the way we talked about him because he's not here to defend himself. Well, Charlie Kirk left us a legacy of him talking shit about us. That's not our fault. You won't find a legacy of me. If somebody comes back to me 30, 40, 50 years from now and look at the legacy of what I talked about in my live streams, you won't hear me talking about the ills of white folks unless it has something to do with what they are doing. You don't hear me disparaging white people because they are white. You don't hear me saying that white people are unqualified for shit because they are white. You don't hear me saying that I won't get on a plane because the pilot is white. You don't hear me saying I don't want a white doctor operating on me. But you have heard Charlie Kirk say just those things. But you Sambos, you Yassa bosses, you want to be white conservatives, because that's what some of y'all are. There's nothing wrong with being conservative, but there's such a thing of having conservative balls in your mouth 24/7, which some of y'all do. There's something wrong with our identity of when you look at your skin, you ask yourself, why was I born black? I really think like a white man. No, you don't. You just ain't got your nigga wake up card yet. OJ got it. Michael got it. Sammy Davis Jr. got it. Sidney Poitier got it. There's Isaac Hayes got a song, Suck on My Chocolate Salted Balls. That should be y'all theme song. Melted in butter. Put it in the oven. Go check out the song. It's called Chocolate Salted Balls. I think he does it on South Park. And if you tell me that song don't fit some of these niggas that carry each other balls in their mouth. Candace got hers too. A whole lot of these folks that was carrying water for the white supremacists, Brandon Tatum, whatever his fucking name is, even his name, what's his name, Myron and Fresh and Fit, he got his black wake-up card too. Tommy Sotomayor got his black wake-up card too. They tolerate you. They don't like you. They need folks like y'all to carry their message to the masses. See? This is what they think. You know, we're not the only ones that think that way. Let's go grab Candace, because see, Candace is an educated one of them. Let's go grab Candace. No one said, Candace, stop talking about the wife of one of the presidents of another country. She talked about, she got free speech, didn't she? They didn't tell her shut that shit up. They didn't say shut your podcast down. It took the Macrons to sue her for her to shut the fuck up. She got a black card though, didn't she? When white America said, you started that fight over there. I ain't fucking with you, Candace. You on your own on that one. You called that man's wife a woman, a man.
for 18 months. It's always going to be a part of the family because God made Texas first. Aaron with the $2 says, why was HBCUs on high alert after Kirk's death?
And why were they, folks? I'm not going to hold you much longer because I got to get over to a classic R&B jams. If you folks are interested in some good house music, I got 3 great house DJs. The DJ Dreadhead said, Miss Unassuming and DJ Broken. They may have started already, but they go from 7 Central Time, 6 Central Time to 11 Central Time, 10 Central Time, whatever the times are. I think a little hour difference, 11 my time here. And then DJ Ed. Folks might know him. He does a house set from 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 1 a.m. So let me go ahead and finish this out here. Let me let these folks talk here a little bit. I've heard a little bit about him. ABT. I don't know who he is, so I'm going to do my research on him. Something tells me from what I have heard about him, I'm going to have to do a little loose nigga roundup, because the first time I heard about him was on that panel that JP was on, that some folks said that he was egging JP's on. Okay, well, they did start, folks. Shar or Miss Jaylyn, if you don't mind, could you go grab the one of you ladies could grab the link to the regular stream, and if one of you ladies could grab the link to the listening lounge and post them for me while I let this continue.
Sean, what up?
What up, buzzing, birds, flip a dozen,
Uh-huh.
dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was. What up, buzzing, birds, flip a dozen, dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
Thank you to my family here for the tea in the building. Sean Antonio building, renewing those memberships. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. John the Baptist for the $10. Mr. Fantastic speaking facts. Stand 10 toes down. John the Baptist.
Chronic black woman. I wonder if she's there because of her excellence or she's there because of affirmative action. If we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called racist. Now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken seriously. You had to go and steal a white person slot to be taken somewhat seriously. Now, I know other people may say other parts taken out of context, but the last comment I think rings true to him saying racist things, or at least white supremacist things, right? Because the fact that you said they had to take a white person's slot, right, to be taken seriously implies that the only he didn't take a white person's position to be taken seriously. He literally said white. So that in itself is racist, is white supremacist, right? I'm not, please let me know, McAwell, if I'm taking out of context or anything, but I'm reading what he said exactly. And that sounds pretty racist to me, that the only people who are qualified in what he just said is white. Not positive, I have a delay, so please go ahead.
If somebody can clarify.
Down. No, Candace Owen, you are not Miss Cartwright. If y'all don't know that song, that's the theme to the Cartwrights, the Ponderosa.
What he said.
Yeah. So remember, he was saying those 3 or 4 Congress/senator when the women weren't qualified, they shouldn't have been there. And then he added a little bit more to that. Do you remember those comments? Will?
Yeah, I remember those comments, and it was white.
Like it was in context.
Yeah, it was in context because it was definitely in context, because what happened was it was white people that was up for that seat, but because of the times and because of the political temperature, they gave it to the black people just because. That's not out of context. That's not racist. That's just truth. It was white people that was up for the seat.
Yes, sir. You are a fucking idiot, Sil. The more I listen to you, brother, I tried. I on too many occasions, Sil, I try to give you benefit. Please. I really have. On too many occasions, bro, I've tried to give you the benefit of the doubt, but there's no way around it. I can't do it anymore. I cannot do it. Because you know what you're saying. You're not an uneducated man. That's obvious. So you're being blatantly You're being blatantly disingenuous. A habitual line crosser. Habitual.
It was white people that was up for the job, and they gave it to the black people.
But he.
So let me again, for those of you who talk about folks, this DEI or this so-called this hiring process. So fuck all the education that she had to do to get to that. Fuck all the positions that she held prior to that. How many black justices, Supreme Court justices, have we had cellulite podcasts? So you mean the fact that they tell me we get one or two, we have one that may appear to be black, Clarence Thomas, and we have one that is black. So you mean to tell me of those two Supreme Court justices, of all them Supreme Court justices that we have, Judge Ketanji Jackson Brown is a DEI hire. The only reason she got that position is because the Biden administration had to do something. They couldn't have gave her another congressional judgeship somewhere else, huh? They couldn't have made her a what do you call that? The attorney general. They couldn't have made her this lawyer. They couldn't have made her that judge. They gave her a nomination. She got nominated by the Senate. She got confirmed. She got nominated by the House, confirmed by the Senate, chose by the president. None of her accolades made sense other than the fact that, we got to go grab us what seems to be an educated black woman and put her on the Supreme Court just cause. That'll shut the whole of America up. Does that make any sense to you, Sel? If you hear it from my perspective, sir, does that make any sense to you? That Michelle Obama is not educated. Does that make any sense to you? That the prosecutor in Georgia is not educated. Does that make any sense to you, sir? You got oatmeal in your brain.
Also
sir.
said that they were unqualified. Is that true?
So Ketanji.
No, because Will knows the thing, because he was saying they weren't qualified, etc. Go ahead.
So we talk about Ketanji Brown. What is Ketanji Brown?
My bad. Go ahead, Will.
No, go ahead. You asking
I was
questions.
just saying, because I'm thinking about that scene. He named more than one black woman, right? During that. Yeah. What is she? I don't know. I don't know what she is.
Ketanji Brown, if I'm not mistaken, she's a lawyer or something like that, a prosecutor or something like that. Okay. I gotta go look up and I gotta see exactly. But I remember that conversation that they was having. It was a
so again, Sel. Again, you can disparage someone, but you don't know them. Hey, Beachy, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Always a pleasure. You can talk shit about Judge Brown Jackson, but you don't know enough about her. You said you got to go up and look about her, what she's done, what is her accolades, but you're free to discredit her when you don't even know what she did in her lifetime. Idiot.
I think it was a white woman that was going up against her, and they literally just gave it to her just because of that. And when she was doing her, that's the same woman that's Donald Trump, if I'm not mistaken, and she did a terrible job at it. As a matter of fact, everything that she's been doing so far has been a terrible job. She hasn't done anything of achievable substance. So the question now is, okay, when you're looking at Ketanji Brown, I can't remember the other two people that you named.
Reaper, can you hear us?
It was yeah, I can hear it. Just let me know if there's a crazy delay.
Go. You good?
Yeah, he said Ketanji Brown, Sheila Jackson Lee, and
Michelle Obama.
George Reed, Michelle Obama. Yeah, my bad.
Michelle Obama was terrible. We all know Michelle Obama was her husband.
But MAGA Will, when you said there are other white people that were up for those same positions, do you know that they were more qualified than Ketanji Brown than black people? Because
I have to go back and look, but I remember the conversation.
So I guess
what's
in
so MAGA Will. So since he addressed you as MAGA Will, so you came to the table saying that Judge Jackson Brown was not qualified. At least you could have came to the table with the facts of the people that you said. You, number one, you should have brought their name, and you should have brought the qualifications of the people that you said that was skipped over. You know, I made the mistake of calling someone a babbling buffoon because he pissed me off. You are, sir, a babbling buffoon. You are a consummate babbling buffoon, because you cannot tell me you are accidentally speaking this way. You cannot tell me that you are not educated as a black man, that you could not know that Judge Brown, Michelle Obama, or any other black woman, Sheila Jackson Lee, were highly qualified for the positions that they served in.
When someone says,
well, Reaper, yeah. So what's in contention, Will, is what other reason would he have to question those women's qualifications and character other than them being black?
And I have to go back and look.
But so Reaper's saying, what is it rooted in other than what racism or prejudice?
So if you white, Hamp, and Fantastic is black, and both of y'all is up and running,
yeah,
and Fantastic wins it during a political climate where DEI and NAACP and people are getting pushed into position just because they're black. If Fantastic get the job over you, wouldn't it be fair to say that, oh yeah, they gave it to Fantastic because he's black?
No.
If they said that, absent of he's unqualified and things of that nature, I could understand why they may come to that conclusion. However, I wouldn't eliminate that person from being a racist.
Gotcha. But that's why I said I have to go back and get the full context. I'm pretty sure that they would have to pull up both of those people, and then they would have to gauge what it is they done prior to them being up for that job. So that's why I said
well, again, my thing, Sel, is if you're going to come on a panel and disparage somebody saying they're not qualified, at least show the proof that they're not qualified. At least show the people that were more qualified for them. This is a bunch of bullshit. Say it again, Bridget. This is a bunch of bullshit, sir. I've been speaking for 2 hours and 20 minutes, hoping I could find some kind of grace in what you've been saying. Hope that I could say to myself when I get off this live that I was too hard on this brother, that I was wrong about this brother's belief, that I was wrong that this brother was out here chasing a bag, that I was wrong about this brother being authentic, that I was wrong about you and Mr. Fantastic, but I'm not wrong about you. You are grifters. You learn from the school of Angry Man and Tommy Sotomayor. You learn that the worst that you could say to people will get more people to come to your channel. Look at the growth of your channel since you started talking disparagingly about black folks. You can't correlate that yet, man? Look at the growth of your fucking channel versus when you was just talking about black people fuckery versus you were now talking about black people being openly disparaged. No mention about the black men that got hung this weekend. But you on a live stream trying to defend Charlie Kirk. You on a live stream trying to defend a man that said black excellence is for shit.
Can't speak for the man, but in my opinion, I just know that's what the conversation was about. I just can't remember all of the details, but there's context to it.
Yeah, and so I think the context and that's why Reaper used that one specifically because he'd been listening. I don't think there's much a way around that one because I saw that one too. And for him to insult those women while mentioning the political climate had no place other than he felt some type of way about them because they were black.
Gotcha. And the counter, hold on one second. So the counter to that would be, right, this is just my perspective. The counter to it would be is that when Kamala Harris was running for president,
and they said that she was qualified and that Trump wasn't qualified. And Barack Obama came up and said that if you black men don't want a black woman to...
Okay, fuck what Barack Obama said. Not being disrespectful when I say that. So you say you a businessman or you know business. So let me ask you, since you want to bring up former Vice President Harris, and now President Trump, I'm gonna just butt base with that. Neither one of these folks are in the political climate. Both of them came at you with the resume. Former Vice President with her resume, and President Trump with his resume. As a businessman that you hope that your business will succeed, are you honestly telling me that you would hire Trump? Are you honestly telling me, Sal, that you would hire Trump, knowing, first of all, brother, he did not write the art of the deal. He's been bankrupt several times. He's been accused of cheating. That's only the business aspect of him. We're not talking about his personal life. We're talking about his business aspects. So I'll ask you this question again. If these two particular job candidates came to you and you were hiring them, one being Harris, one being Trump, they both hand you a resume. You look over these resumes, you would have to be an absolute fool, Sal, to hire Trump.
Office, it just shows that you yourself are against black women. So it's okay when a white person brings up context when we talking about gauging someone's qualifications to be a job, but it's not okay when a black person does it.
Go ahead, Beans and Tommy.
Look, I was just gonna say one quick thing.
Go ahead.
We have a junior college dropout calling a Harvard graduate and a Harvard law graduate unqualified. Ironic.
I was hoping I couldn't wait to get to that part because I was scanning through and I landed right on this. Charlie Kirk is a junior college dropout, or was a junior college dropout. Most of you men on the panel have not even drove down College Park Drive, much less been to a college. So who are any of you to question anyone's intelligence? A lot of the words that were used up on this panel, some of you men up here didn't even know what they meant. So when it comes to qualifications of intelligence, there's not a motherfucker up on this panel should ever question anyone's intelligence, especially you, Sal. This is not a conversation that any one of y'all on that panel should have got involved with. Not when it comes to qualifications, especially when it comes to educational qualifications. Some of y'all might not even seen the front door of a high school. Some of y'all don't have, what do you call those things? Diplomas on your mantelpiece or on your wall.
Who's the graduate?
Charlie Kirk is a junior college dropout. He didn't finish junior college.
Okay, and who's unqualified?
Ketanji Brown is a Harvard graduate and a Harvard law graduate.
And what has she done substantially within the legal system?
She is Supreme Court justice.
This be the problem I have, Will. This be the problem I have, and I've even had this conversation with even some of my white friends.
This nigga answered it. Did you hear the question that he asked? What has she done substantially in the legal profession? She sits on the highest court in the land, the Supreme Court. You can't get more substantial than that. There's no room to go up from there. Sal? What has she done substantial is the question this dumb nigga asked. What has she done in the legal profession that's substantial, of any substantial means? The Supreme Court justice says it all, that somebody thought she was qualified enough at some point in her illustrious career to say, you know what, I'm going to nominate you, Judge Jackson, Kenji Brown Jackson. I'm going to nominate you to sit on the highest court in the land until the day you pass on. Now, Sel, a little homework for you. I want you to go through the history of the Supreme Court. Now, I want you to find me the black folks that's been on it. If that ain't substantial for you, I don't know what else is. Well, I tell you what, when words come out your mouth, you know what? You couldn't hit a bull in the ass with a bass fiddle because they're always wrong. Brush your teeth because shit coming out your mouth every time you open it. Brush them motherfuckers.
We used to talk about affirmative action. Before those laws was put in place, you know what conversation I never heard? What? The conversation about the white boys that was getting the opportunity that was less qualified. Then I've never heard that conversation, even from you niggas. I've never heard that conversation before. I've never heard them worried about it. None of it. The only time this became a problem is when they looked at the numbers and said, yo, unqualified white people are getting jobs over these qualified individuals. And so we need to put this in place. And that's when that conversation started. But when it was in their favor, we never heard these conversations.
So we have heard this conversation during even when you want to talk about redlining, how it is that black people who was going to the banks and going to the housing markets and trying to get into those markets, and those people was being dismissed just because they were black. But because of the money that they had and the extensive knowledge that they had when it came to towing the land, those people were dismissed just because they were black. So we've heard this conversation before.
Well, why does he get hold on.
Go ahead, baby.
Come on, man, with all this deflecting shit.
It's not deflecting. What are you talking about?
I think it's my turn. He said the corner.
It absolutely is deflection because, again, Sel, no question that anyone put in front of you, every time it came to time for you to answer it, you changed it. Yeah, I hate to use the terms that y'all use, but you moved the goalpost. What the fuck did anything have to do with redlining have to do with what that man asked you? We know what redlining is. We know why redlining existed. We know what happened in the contents of redlining. It was not from what black people did. Black people did not invent redlining. So what the fuck does redlining had to do with the conversation? I tell you what, bro, if you in the clouds, I wish you would drop down. So I wouldn't have had to have this conversation by myself. So I could put you up, Lord, like I'm skinning a deer and pull the skin off you layer by layer to let you know that the shit that you've been talking in this stream for an hour and some change, that I shouldn't have having to spend almost 2 hours of my time, over 2 hours of my time talking about. Now I'm gonna move this a little bit further because I've about had enough of you.
Him before you protect your brother. Do you think Massa gonna protect you, or you think your brother gonna protect you first? Which one?
You talk about protecting my brother. My thing is this though: if my brother if my brother drops a body and I know it's against the law, is that protecting him? If I know that he broke the law?
What? No, I said protect you. I said
no. You said protect my brother. You said I should be protecting my brother instead of protecting Massa. I don't know who the hell Massa is because the only master of my life is God. So, no, you saying that's the problem. Okay, so if you want to continue to participate in colorism, we can do that. But when it comes down to it, you can't call out the assumed prejudice in white people. You're not going to call out the assumed prejudice in black people because you still have black people to this day who says that Carmelo Anthony is innocent.
But why in the hell would I jump?
There you go again. Since I would imagine this, since you started your defense of white folks with the Carmelo Anthony, that how you disparage that young kid, that how you made stream after stream talking about how guilty Carmelo Anthony was, I won't be surprised, Sel, that part of your stream, that when it is time, because the amount of traction that those streams got while you was watching, while you was disparaging Carmelo Anthony, not only him, but his parents and anybody around him, that it will not be used against the folks that's trying to convict him. I won't be surprised. And every time someone asks you a question, Sal, you change the goalpost. There you are again. The conversation is about Charlie Kirk. You brought up this, you brought up that. Now here we are bringing up Carmelo Anthony, your favorite subject to talk about. And colorism. I don't know. I just moved like ABT. I don't know what his brand and mind of thinking is. I just got tired of listening to him, so I moved the goalpost a little bit, or I moved the slider a little bit to see what else this nigga was saying. Because when I stopped it there, I don't know what went on past this. I didn't know tyranny came on the panel, because what I was going to say was, if you notice, this panel is lacking one thing: women. Because there's no black women in their right mind that would have came up here on this panel to defend Charlie Kirk in his actions or his words. But let's see what else he's talking about before we close this up here, folks.
To protect something else before I protect my own home. Hold on, let me finish.
Exactly. So instead of saying that Carmelo ended to defend himself, why not wait? Hold on, wait.
No, I'm not going to wait because I wasn't done. I literally said let me finish. I literally said let me finish.
Why not say wait until all the evidence come out?
I literally asked you let me finish.
Sure, go ahead. You don't get the same question.
Hey, you got this. All right, this is my final warning, right? All right, about the. All right, go ahead, Tyranny, and then Will, you can retort.
I was just going to say, the scripture says that he is a hypocrite that takes care of someone outside of his home first. So with y'all on these panels sitting there trying to take care of somebody else's home before you take care of your own home, you are a freaking hypocrite. And how could you even consider to be in a community where we can trust you when we know for a fact that you're going to run and tell on us because we are not following the ways of the person you don't even understand is your master?
Okay. So, Will, before you say something, let me say something. So does that scripture only apply to black people, or does it apply to white people too? Because if it applies to white people too, so if it applies to white people too, what we complaining about?
I don't think the scripture had a race on it. It's a statement.
Hold on. You just said the scripture said pretty much.
Well, I'll ask y'all the question again, because a lot of these folks, especially these babbling buffoons up here on this panel, they like to refer to the scriptures. So let me ask you, babbling buffoons, Cellulite, and of course, not so Mr. Fantastic. Let me ask you something. What's one thing you won't find in the Bible? White folks. I dare you to find one. I dare you to find a mention of a Caucasian person in the Bible, in any scripture, in any passage, in any Psalms. Show me where white folks show up in the Bible. Can anybody give me a quote or something where it mentions white folks? But it does mention, as they like to say, folks of color, because it does mention his hair was wool and his skin was bronze. It don't say his hair was silky blonde and his skin was sun-baked brown. Don't say that in the scriptures nowhere. Do it. So when folks come at me with the scriptures and try to quote the scriptures to prove me wrong, I miss me with that. I might not be able to tell you the exact number, but I know this so-called Bible well enough to know that most of the stuff that y'all use from the Bible is cherry-picked to prove your point, and it's usually easily debunked or wrong. But let's listen to a little bit more of this before I get up out of here.
Keep to your own people. Look out for your own people. All right.
First.
Hold on. Don't worry about everybody else. So what are we mad at fucking the white folks doing the same thing for white folks for? What are we talking about?
Because they weren't about us?
So can I jump
I
in?
ain't mad at the white folks to take care of the white folks. That's their home. Let them take care of each other.
She's saying,
So why we can't do the same?
yeah, she's saying do exactly what you said, do what you just said. She's saying black people should be doing that and worrying about that first, not defending white folks over their people. Hence the Carmelo situation, if that had happened.
That's, I think, just real quick, Ham, that's the problem. You niggas can't see us saying, hey, it's a problem. It's problematic. And we had the conversation right here, Cam. We talked about it's a problematic making it standard and it making it okay for kids to kill kids over.
Okay, there's no need to go any farther with this. Enough is enough of this, ladies and gentlemen. What I can tell you is, here's a classic example of idiots on parade. Here's a classic example of grown men going into a situation, talking about things that they really have no idea of what they're speaking on. That is my honest observation of Mr. Fantastic, of Cellulite Broadcast, DJ Hamp, and a few of the other brothers. I'm noticed there's only a few of the brothers that spoke. And Hamp did what he could. But for the most part, Cellulite Podcast and Mr. Not So Fantastic, y'all need to do y'all need a crash course in history. Again, before I get out of here, let me say what happened to Charlie Kirk, as they say, was a tragedy. No matter how you look at it, no man, no woman, no child needs to die for their beliefs. You as a human being does not have the right to take the life of another human being. That is not your call. If you believe in the God and if you believe in the universe has its way of collecting and creating and correcting itself. Let the universe handle the bad, the garbage. If you look at Charlie Kirk in his totality, Charlie Kirk brought on what happened to him. Charlie Kirk was an advocate of the Second Amendment. Charlie Kirk said that if the Second Amendment, if some people had to lose their life in pretense in the defense of the Second Amendment, so be it. Charlie Kirk said those things about black women. Charlie Kirk said those things about the alphabet community. No one forced his arm. Y'all want to give Charlie Kirk the credit that he's a brilliant man, but you want to sit up on these panels and run cover from him for the bullshit that he said and get mad at us when we call it out. You can't have it both ways. As Colonel Jessup would say, I would rather you tell me to kiss your ass and go on about your day and let me go on about my day than spend hour after hour on panels trying to convince me that Charlie Kirk was a good man, because he wasn't. The only part of Charlie Kirk that I have compassion for is his children, because they are innocent in all of this. I don't have compassion for his wife because she chose him. Just like when I was married, I knew what my wife stood for. I would not be with a person that did not have the same beliefs and values that I have. So I don't mourn with Charlie Kirk's wife. I empathize for his children that they have to grow up without a father. I don't mourn Charlie Kirk's death. Actually, without these streams of these loose niggas making them up, I wouldn't give two fucks about Charlie Kirk. With that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're inclined to, please join me over here. I'm about to leave here and head on over to Classic R&B Jams and sit down with my man Dreadhead Said and DJ Broken and Misunderstanding for a night of house music, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're going to do over there. And y'all can check me out on Sunday nights. I'll be hitting you with the music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s at the Music Cafe. Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Also, Sundays and Tuesdays, I bring the smooth jazz for you on Tuesday nights. All right. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in. Be safe out there. Watch your 3, your 6, and your 9. Like I said, on my radio show, say hello to someone. Might change the way they're thinking, might change the way they're living. You never know. If you walk past them, don't say hello. With that, I'm out, y'all.
Look, all you motherfuckers been snitching for him and shit.
Well, now you standing up in here and goddamn it talking about preach it, preacher, preach it, preacher. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that. I'm gonna shoot your ass too, motherfucker. Keep going. You gonna get shot too, nigga. You gonna get shot. God bless the fool, goddammit. God bless the fool. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna end this goddamn thing. Look, where's that goddamn money bowl at? Who got that money bowl? We taking that money right now before you leave this bitch. We ain't leaving out here for free, motherfucker. Yeah. Y'all know the motherfucker ain't no good. You want, look,